Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to welcome back former gubernatorial candidate and former Oregon State Legislature, Dennis Richardson.
Hey,
Dennis, good to see you again. Thanks for coming back. All right, so let's talk about you're in the enviable position right now of being able to be out of politics. You've spent so much of your life in politics and watch everything from the seats, if you will. What's that like for you?
Well, it's fascinating because I know a lot of what's going on behind the scenes, especially in the state. And so, you know, I'm watching the presidential theater. People say, well, what do you think of Donald Trump?
It is theater.
It's theater at this point. I remember a few years ago when Giuliani was running and people were saying in the fall that he had 45% of the vote. He was going to be the odds-on winner. He was dead before he got started, but it was so early that it was just about who gets media time. So we'll see how this all plays out. More locally, it's been fascinating to watch what's going on in Salem. I mean, we have the Secretary of State who's now become the governor, Kate Brown, and just yesterday she was able to step in and help stop the Department of Energy from taking steps that were was collusion, in my opinion, and hiding some bad acts that they've been doing there and they've been getting away with for years. And
you testified as part of that, correct? It's something you yourself are looking into?
Yeah, last week I appeared by telephone at a Salem hearing that was on a final rule that they were proposing. It's the first time I've actually come out of retirement from politics, really, for the last 8 months. But this really bothered me because they were saying we need to change the rules on how you price energy tax credits, and we're going to make this change retroactive to July of 2012. And what they're really saying is we've been breaking the rules, breaking the law, and we need to now cover ourselves. And so if we can change the rules, then we'll be protecting ourselves. And that kind of collusion and lack of transparency is wrong. And so I spoke and I said, we know what's going on. This is wrong. If you make this rule permanent, then I will join with hundreds of other Oregonians, and we will be calling for a full audit by the Secretary of State's Department, by the Secretary of State's auditors of the Department of Energy. We want the governor to do a full investigation, and we want the legislature to have their interim committees do an investigation because it is wrong to change the rules merely to protect what's going on behind the scenes.
Okay, and so you and I talked earlier this week, just a few days ago, about a potential run for governor next year. That is something you've said you're not interested in. Is that something you still stand by?
Right. Yeah, I've looked at it very carefully. I mean, I have a passion to serve, and I've had 12 years in the legislature, and I understand how things work. As co-chair of Ways and Means, I understand the budgeting process. I know where so much good can be done for the state, but I'm not going to run if I don't think I can win. I thought I could win last time. I was only able to raise $3 million. Remember, Chris Dudley, he spent $10 million on his statewide campaign. I could only raise $3 million, and now we're in a presidential year where a lot of the big donors are giving to presidential candidates and not to state races. And so I just don't see a path to victory, and so there's no sense in starting that trail.
Okay, what about running for your old seat, or what about perhaps another statewide position? Is that something you're considering?
Well, I'm not considering running for the legislature at all because Dwayne Stark is doing a great job, and he took my place, and it wouldn't be appropriate for me to go and take him on now. He's doing fine. As far as something else, I've been recruited for every position that's up on the ballot next year, and I'm not sure if there's a place where I can really serve well. I would have to be able to raise the money. The one area that I might consider would be Secretary of State, and that's because the Secretary of State's office has 70 auditors, and we need to have transparency in our state government. There is fraud, waste, and abuse that is going without anyone looking at it, and that needs to be carefully looked at, and the Secretary of State has the ability to do that.
Certainly.
Back in 2005, when I was over the Health and Human Services subcommittee for their budget, I was doing an interrogation and found out that the human resource, the Health and Human Services department had a floor in Portland in an office building, 18,000 square feet, that was empty, and that they had left empty for 10 years, and they were paying $27,000 a month for an empty floor. And it was like they didn't know what was happening. It just kind of gone away and nobody knew it. Well, that's the kind of thing that the Secretary of State's auditors ought to be finding out. They ought to be looking to see where there is waste, where there's lack of efficiency, where there's collusion going on, or people setting themselves up for a better job outside of government. These kinds of things need to take place. There's been one party in power for too long, and so that's an area I'm looking at, but it's a concern also about could I raise the money to actually win that election, and that's the challenge.
All right, well, I know you'll keep us posted. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.